To classify the extreme points of the function y is equal to x squared over e to the x, we need to find the first derivative of y. Y prime is equal to u prime, which is 2x, times v, which is e to the x, minus u, which is x squared, times v prime, which is e to the x, divided by e to the x squared, which is e to the 2x. We're going to simplify. Y prime is equal to e to the x multiplied by 2x minus x squared over, and e to the x squared is e to the x times e to the x. Cancel e to the x. So y prime is equal to 2x minus x squared over e to the x. Now, in order to find the critical numbers, we need to set y prime equal to 0, which means the numerator 2x minus x squared will be equal to 0. In factored form, x times 2 minus x is equal to 0. So it's either x equal to 0 or 2 minus x is equal to 0. Therefore, 2 is equal to x, which means x is equal to 2. So the critical numbers are x equal to 0 and x equal to 2. We will build our table of values with 0 and 2. So 2 is a 0 and 0 is another 0. We'll test for 3. And the derivative at 3 will be 3 times 2 minus 3, which is a positive times a negative, so the derivative is negative. We'll test in this interval between 0 and 2 for 1, and the derivative is 1 times 2 minus 1, a positive times a positive, and it'll be positive. And on that side, we will test for negative 1. And the derivative will be negative 1 times 2 minus negative 1. So it's a negative times it's a negative times a positive, which will be negative. The derivative goes from negative to 0 to positive. This is a minimum. So the absolute mean is 0, and f of 0 will be 0 squared. F of 0, y at 0 will be 0 squared over e to the 0. So it's 0 over 1, which is 0. From positive to 0 to negative, it's a max. It's 2, and f of 2, which is 2 squared over e to the second. So it's 4 over e to the second. The absolute minimum is 0, 0. The relative max is 2, 4 over e to the second.